first program is about CPU scheduling algorithms. There we are doing all the 4 algorithms, right? First come, first serve, SJF, round robin, and priority, right? So if you can see the code for the first program, very simple one, first come, first serve, right? So as I already told you, we are not considering arrival times here, right? We are not considering arrival times here, right? So that means we are taking the scenario as the arrival times, all the arrival times are 0, right? So see, I am initializing here burst time, turnaround time, waiting time, right? And is the number of jobs, right? So here float values for the average waiting time and average turnaround time, because you will get the decimal values here, right? So what I am doing here is initially I am asking to give the number of processes, right? So enter the processes, you give the number and how many number of jobs you want to give, like, right? Guys, can you able to see me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Uh, print, enter the number of jobs we are giving, and there then after giving the number of jobs, we are entering the burst times for the jobs. And initially what we are doing is, initially for the first job we are taking the waiting time as 0, and for the first job the turnaround time is equal to its burst time. We are initializing like that. And what we are assigning for average waiting time and average turnaround time is, initially we are taking average waiting time as 0. For that we are going to add the jobs waiting times, so that we will get the total waiting time and the average waiting time, like that, right? And initially what we are assigning for the average turnaround time is the burst time of the first job, right? And then what we do is, here what we are doing is, here we are calculating the waiting time and the turnaround times for the jobs. In iteratively we are doing it, right? For the first job, we are doing, we initialized as like first job it is equal to 0, and turnaround time for the first job equal to the burst time of the first job. And for the next jobs, what we are doing is waiting time equal to waiting time of the previous job plus the burst time of the previous job. Together will give the waiting time for the second job, right? For the turnaround time of the second job equal to turnaround time of the previous job plus burst time of the current job, right? So that way we are doing, right? And average waiting time and average turnaround time, what we are doing is, we are adding the waiting time of the jobs iteratively, right? So for the first job we are taking it as 0 waiting time, average waiting time. Then we are adding the waiting times of the all the remaining jobs to get the average waiting time. And turnaround time also we are doing in the same way, but while printing the average waiting time and average turnaround time, we are averaging with the n is equal to number of jobs, right? So this is the simple program. So what this code is for is, if you take the printf, process, burst time, waiting time, turnaround time, to display the output in the matrix format. So to display the output in the matrix format, I am simply initializing them in that way, right? So we are supposed to give number of jobs like this. I'm giving the number of jobs as 3. Burst times I'm giving as, for the process 0, 24, process 1, 3, process 2, 3. Then output I am getting like this. So this is the code for the first program. Understood? Very simple. Yes, understood? First one, very simple program, right? So we'll see the second one now. SJF. See, here also the same thing, but here we are using a temporary variable, which is for swapping, right? Why we swap is to make the jobs in order, in the ascending order, right? So first we'll take the job which is having the less burst time. right? So that way we are going to arrange them in the order, right? So first initially the processes, number of process, burst time, waiting time, turnaround time, all these are same. So it will take the jobs also in the same way. It is asking you to enter the number of jobs, right? Then it is asking you to enter the burst time for the jobs, right? So here what I am doing is, here I am making the swapping. If the first job burst time is greater than the second job burst time, what I do is I will swap, right? This code you all know, yes or no? You all know how to do the swapping, right? How to make them in sorting order, yes or no? Yes, right? The same sorting thing it is doing here, right? So after making them in sorting, the remaining part is same. How to calculate them this way, right? Waiting time of I is equal to waiting time of I minus 1. This is all the same. And printing the jobs in the order in the matrix format also the same. Calculating the average waiting time and average turnaround time, right? Can you able to do the second one who didn't complete it? First, everyone completed. Still, anyone are doing the first program, guys? Anyone still doing the first program, please respond. No one? See, someone take the initiative and can you just tell me that all completed program one, like if you have any idea. Individually, if I am asking, no one is responding. Hope most of you completed the program one. Anyone still doing program one, please respond. No one? Can I consider it as everyone done the program one? All done. Okay, fine. Second program? Second program, just like first program only, but what we are supposed to do is first you have to arrange the processes in the ascending order of their burst time. That's all, right? According to their burst times, right? Whose burst time is less, that will be considered as the first job. Whose burst time is, right? Okay, so can I consider it as everybody done with the program 2? Anyone doing, please let me know. Jahnavi, can I consider everybody done the program 2? I'm not sure, but the people are not responding. Program 3? Guys, this is not the classroom to ask you one by one by calling you. That is not possible here, no? So please respond, right? When I'm asking you, please respond. Explain the third one. Okay, fine. Right. So priority here. So the first part is same. It is asking you to enter the number of jobs. So enter the burst time and the priority. So here along with the burst time, you are supposed to enter the priority. And whatever the code you are written for SJF, right? There you are considering the burst times, but here you consider the priority. So according to the priorities, you put them in order, right? According to their priorities, you put them in order, right? So those who, here also the same thing in the ascending order. which priority number is less, that is having the highest priority, right? So that way you do, and the remaining part is same, right? Here what you are supposed to do is you have to first make the jobs in the order of their priorities, in the ascending order of their priorities. So once you have done that, it is normal. Everything is like your first program only, right? So here what I am doing is, after taking the those terms and the IDs, what I am doing is I am checking the priorities. If the first job priority is more, what I am supposed to do, I have to swap them, right? I should first I should get the job which is having the less priority, right? So what here I am doing, for that job I am giving the number as 1. So the job which is having the highest priority will be considered as the first job, right? So that first job burst time will be considered when I am doing this, right? When I am calculating the average, this waiting time and the turnaround time, right? See the code here, you can see. So I am putting the P of I in temp, P of I equal to P of J, P of K equal to temp. That is over. Then what I am doing, then after I am making the burst times according to their jobs, right? First, this first 3 lines for the process IDs, the next 3 lines for the burst time, and the last 3 lines for the priority. So the job which is having the less priority will be given the process ID 0, right? The first process. And that process burst time will be considered, right? Clear? The priority one? Please respond, guys. Yes. So, how many of you completed all the 3 now? One, two, three, done 6 you. So in the same way, if you all can post, it would be better. Or else I will call you number wise. Tell me if 63 all done. 63. 63. 72. Done with all the 3. 63, all 3 done. Okay. 72.
Yes, ma'am. 3 done, ma'am.
6D. 6D. go through the code and you try to understand. Do let me know if you can able to understand it or not, right? Yeah. Right. See, I'll tell you need and flag values. Need means, see, burst time I am having no, and time slice I am giving, right? So need means after we are giving the means how much need is nothing but the burst time only. So after giving the time slice every time we are checking again how much extra time a process need, right? In the burst time after giving the time slices how much time it is remaining, like how much burst time is remaining, right? What is its need to complete the job I am keeping in the need. And flag is the one which indicates if the flag is equal to 1, right? That means the job is still running, it requires more CPU time, right? And if flag is equal to 0 means it is done with the execution part, right? So initially what I'm doing is enter the number of jobs, this is same, right? And N1 also equal to number of jobs only. Where I am using this N1 is while calculating the average waiting time and the average turnaround time, I am using this N1, right? So print number of jobs, enter the number of processes I am doing here, and then printf enter the time slice. TS I am taking, it is the time slice, right? Then normally I am taking the process IDs and the burst times, right? You are getting me? So initially in the need, what I am keeping is I am making it the burst time only. Guys, can you suggest me? My Chrome is working very slow. It is getting stuck and sometimes I am getting the error as unresponsive pages. What could be the reason? Can you able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. I got some. Okay. Wait for 2 minutes, ma'am. I'm unable to drag the. Yeah. See, if you can see here, so initially what I'm doing is this part you understood, no? Till here, in the round robin, first take the number of jobs, then time slice you enter, then based on the number of jobs, enter the process ID for it, right? And then enter the burst time for each job. And what I told you, need is used to store the remaining burst time for the job, right? So initially the remaining burst time of a job will be equal to the burst time only. Why? Because it didn't get the chance yet, right? So what I'm doing is for the first job, what I'm doing here is I am making flag is equal to 1. What do you mean by flag is equal to 1? The job is still executing, right? So it was not done. So for the first job, you all know waiting time would be 0 only, it will be 0, right? So what I'm doing is I'm keeping a while condition n not equal to 0. That means still there are processes are there. For that I'm checking the condition. Need of I is greater than or equal to time slice, right? So if my job burst time is more than the time slice, right? So what I have to do is I should give the job according to the time slice, right? I should do the job according to the time slice, right? Then what I should make is from the need, I should deduct the time slice. This loop should get executed, right? So if I not equal to say, what I am checking here is flag of I is equal to 1, job not completed, and need of j is not equal to 0 means still the burst time is there, right? So there the waiting time will be increasing for the job. Waiting time of j is equal to waiting time of j plus time slice, right? You are getting me? And then in that need should be need of I is equal to need of I minus time slice, right? So if need is equal to 0, what I do? Flag of I is equal to 0. I am making flag as 0 and minus minus, right? So n value will be reduced now, right? Else it requires more time. Then what we do is we should again run this loop for j is equal to 1, j less than or equal to n, j plus plus. So waiting time will be increasing all the time, right? So it will be taken out, it will means the other jobs will get the chance there, right? So its waiting time will be increased, right? Till need of I will become 0, right? Once it becomes 0, then flag I am making it as 0, right? So then after that, turnaround time and the total turnaround time and total waiting time will be calculated, right? And average waiting time, here I am using N1. There in the first line, I made it as N1 equal to N now, it is equal to number of jobs, right? So you try to understand this code. Do let me know if you can able to understand or not. Wait, I will... So you should understand this while loop, right? Can you able to understand, ma? Thank you, ma. Roll number 63. So you try to complete the round robin now. First you try, ma, then I will send you the code. This while loop part, right? So initially what I'm doing is check if the need is greater than time slice, right? If means the process burst time is more than the time slice which I allocated, right? Then what I'm doing here, give me 1 minute, I'm getting a call. Nana. Hello? నేను వచ్చేసాలే మళ్ళీ doing here is I am executing the job which is equal to the time slice time, right? And then what I am doing here is I am making the flag as 1, right? So that means the job is it to be means it requires more time slices to complete its job, right? So initially what I am doing is check. Here 2 conditions I am checking, ma. One is for this checking with the need with the burst time, right? I not equal to j. If I is not equal to j and flag of I is equal to 1. Flag of I is equal to 1 means what? The job is not completed yet. And the need of j is not equal to 0. And its need is not equal to 0. That means more means it also requires it requires the CPU time, right? Then what I'm doing is the waiting time of j is equal to the waiting time of j plus the time slice. Why? Because for the time slice, the first job is completed. You got me? But the first time slice, the first job is completed, no? So what I am checking is I am checking first job with the second job. I is not equal to j. That means I have the other job, second job also, and the first job is not completed, and the second job burst time is not equal to 0. That means it requires some CPU time. Then what I am doing is the second job waiting time equal to second waiting time plus time slice. Then what I'm doing here, the need of I is equal to need of I minus time slice. That means what? Again, how much time then job 1 requires? Already it got executed for time slice. So the need I am making it as need minus time slice. So let's consider the burst time is 24 and the time slice equal to 3, right? So here the need will become 21 now. That means it requires more 21 microseconds to complete the job. And after that, what I am checking here, if need of I is equal to 0, that means what? The job is done with its execution. Then what I am doing is I am making the flag is equal to 0. That means it won't require more CPU time to get it executed. That means that job is taken out. Now the n will become n minus minus, right? Else, if this condition is not satisfied, right? Else what I'm doing is for j is equal to 1, j less than or equal to n, j plus plus. For I, ikkada kuda same condition. Flag of I is equal to 1 and need of j not equal to 0, right? W of j, waiting time of j is equal to waiting time of j plus need of I, right? What is the remaining time for the first job, the need of I? Why? Because definitely the waiting time of the second job, right, will includes how much time the A is getting executed. So that much amount of time it has to be means what is the time it is remained with, that much amount of time the job J has to wait, right? So that is the reason here I am checking for the second job as waiting time of J is equal to waiting time of J plus need of I, right? And again I am checking if need of I becomes 0, that means the job is done. Flag, you make the flag as 0 for that. So that way you execute the loop, right? And then here what I am doing is I am calculating the turnaround times for the jobs, right? And I am calculating the total waiting time and total turnaround time, right? And after that I am calculating average waiting time and average turnaround time. And I am keeping them in the matrix format, right? Process ID, burst time, waiting time, turnaround time, like this, right? See, if you can see the input, I am giving the number of processes 4, times less I am giving as 3, and I am entering the processes and it's their burst times, right? You enter the burst time for process 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, how many process I gave? I gave the 4 process. No, for process 1, I'm giving the burst time as 4, process 2, 5, process 3, 6, and process 4, 3. Right? And it is calculating the waiting time and the turnaround times. So in this example, we are printing the waiting time also. Why? Because it is making in the loop, no? Right, sir. So for every process, you can calculate the waiting time and the turnaround time. Then after you print the average waiting time and the average turnaround time. I will share the 4 programs with you, right? So you can cross check your code with the code which I am sharing with you if you are getting any doubts. You can take it as the reference only, don't simply copy the code, right? So once you know the idea, you can do it, right? So I will share the code with you. By today evening, you are supposed to upload all the 4 programs in the drive link which I shared with you.